Okay, starting recording. Someone messaged me. It's not letting me join. Do you know what's going on? One sec. Let me try to resend link. Alright. Sorry, one sec, guys. Let me just re-get this link for Alyssa. Add people, copy link to share, and paste. Let's try that. Oh, we got more people. Okay, cool. Sorry, guys. Just trying to help Alyssa join. Also, sorry about my voice. My dad got me sick over the weekend. Because he was like, oh, come over. And I was like, okay. And then I get there and he's like dying. And I'm like, oh, great. This is fun. I wanted to be sick all week. It's my favorite. Okay, let's see if Alyssa can figure it out. So, who's doing what model? If you guys are doing one, please let me know in the chat right now. And then I'll make sure to talk about this one specifically today. The machete, yeah, that's probably a good choice, Michael. I think you and Jack are both doing that, because you guys, from what I heard, you guys want something that's complete. Which is smart. I think the gun, or the Magnum pistol was definitely something a bit too complex for this, which is why I switched it to the Beretta, or no, not Beretta, the 5.9. Okay, so it seems we got two for machete. So I'll go over machete. I'll go over a couple tools that are very helpful for like objects, especially the table. I'm going to go over how you can quickly just automatically make those legs. And I'll show you why. Can you guys all see my screen? Oh, Alyssa resent me her email. I don't know where, though. Everyone look away. It's my email. I don't care. You can do what you want. It's just an email. I don't have anything on here except my loads and loads of photos of Johnny naked. What, Michael? No to which one? I can't see the screen. Oh, I'm not sharing then. Share screen. That better? Can you see me now? Oh yeah, I can see me now. Where did Alyssa send me her email? Oh, that's where she sent it. That's where she sent it. Okay. Wow, I sound like I could be some creepy monster. There we go. Invite. Let's see if that works. You are invited. There we go. Okay. Don't look at my emails. There's nothing on there, but don't look. Don't worry about it.
Hello?
Hello! Yay,
Thank
we
you.
got
I'm
you.
finally on.
God bless. Okay. So today, as I said before, I will be going over how to model the different pieces of different things. I'll be focusing on the machete. Actually, what did everyone model who just got here? Fiona, Brooke. Fiona, if you're not modeling anything yet, that's fine too. Same for you, Alyssa.
I've blocked in the table.
Oh, Fiona also already told me she did the machete, so I don't know why I'm asking her. I love being sick. Okay,
Oh,
there's Willow. Look at her cuteness. Um, while I go to
he's a pupper.
so machete. Um, machete, I'm just gonna basically model from scratch. I'm gonna just do a high poly right away to show you guys how to do it. So this this is gonna be the hardest part of the machete is the handle, just because it has this terrible little insighted curve. Also, these spikes. I'm gonna actually make you guys model those because we will probably normal map. Actually, I don't think we will normal map them later because they are pretty much important to the shape of the curve. So you see, so pretty much, I would say all of this black area is basically flat, especially right here. So flat, and then you start seeing it curve because on the backside of the machete, I can tell you from experience, modeling knives is not the easiest thing. But you can see where it's flat, and then here, right around here, it starts curving down. And that's what we're going to focus on when I do the machete. And this handle, because this handle is a bit crazy. I don't know if I need to take this into ZBrush. I don't think I do. I think I can do this in Maya, but I might do this in ZBrush, just to show you guys ZBrush. Then I'm gonna go over the table and how to make these legs really easily. Oh my god, just open. There we go. I'm gonna show you guys how to quickly make this leg shape, like instantaneously. Just this beveled part, like all this rounded area, because this is probably gonna be, if you don't know what you're doing, if you don't use this tool, well, you can do it without this tool I'm gonna show you, but it's a lot faster. So I'm gonna actually have all these images saved, so I'm not worried about that.
Is it the CD curve tool?
Kinda, yeah. I'll show CP curve and then like a couple things. The lamp,
Revolve is your friend.
yeah. I might go over this. This like wiring around the lantern is pretty simple. If you use the curve tool, you basically just draw it out and then extrude a shape from it. I'll show you guys how to do that. I won't do it for the lantern because I haven't modeled that fully yet. Mirror. There's not really much to say about the mirror except that you're going to have to use ZBrush. I don't think you're going to have to use ZBrush for a lot of these parts though. Like this part. Well, I mean, you're going to want it for detail, but like for just blocking in the shapes, you don't need ZBrush from any of this part. This part I would just draw out using the quad draw, so you have the shape, and then I would bring it into ZBrush and carve in these beautiful flowery parts, or leafy parts. And then you don't have to worry about the actual glass part of the mirror, because that's just going to stay the way it is. And you can see this like crease here, that's where it gets cut, but we're not going to separate it that way. Actually, we might. No, because it looks like it's sanded and fine together, so that's fine. And then last but not least, where's the gun? Not the Magnum, the gun. There it is, the Glock. So the Glock is one of the more difficult objects, but it's actually not that bad, just because it's pretty blocky. It doesn't have a lot of curves. These parts are pretty easy. For most of this shape, I would actually quad draw this part because I want to make sure I have these segments set up beforehand. Booleaning all the time is kind of a pain in the ass, and it doesn't give you good meshes from the start. So I recommend quad drawing, or if you can't quad draw, just start with a cube and instead of booleaning it, try and draw it out and extrude it in. It's just better. It's just easier, a lot easier to do. So what do you guys want me to start with? Just so I can say that real quick.
Could you start with the table? Would you mind doing that?
Not at all.
Cool, cool. Oh,
Okay, I'm going to start with the table then. So for the table, I already told you guys about bringing in a plane, right? Oh, I don't need to group that. Did I already go over that? Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm not going to bring in my scale ref, dude, just because I'm just going over like how to do these things, and I don't really need him for this. So let's see, what image do I want to drop in? I'm going to look at which one I think gives me the best view of the legs. I think it's one of these two. Actually, it might be this one. This one, I think I'm going to go... Yeah, this one. Because this one's cut off, and this one's cut off. But this one has the full leg. So I'm going to just double check the dimensions real fast. Properties. Details. 1959 by 1076. Oh, fuck. Now I have to remember numbers. I'm going to just write this down. 19.5. Fuck! 5. Goddamn pencils. God. I have no working pencils, apparently. Oh, there's one. 1076. Yeah, okay. So I'm going to put these in variables of 10. So instead of 1959, I'm going to just put 19.59. Because then when I scale it, it'll still be the exact same size I want it to be. Because if I... Oh, did I do that right? Oh, no. 0.76. I just didn't put the point. So here I have it now. And I'll just scale it from the center. Because then it keeps my proportions. And that's all you really need. You just need the proportions to be right. Then I'm just going to do what I did last time. Assign a new Lambert. Lambert. Color. File. Click on the folder. Go to desktop. Go to winter class. Go to desk. And then I'm going to pick the image I want. It might be easier with the white background. But I think this is a higher quality image, so I'm going to use this. Because I don't really need it all that good. So there we go. Now we're going to go to the top view. So since this is a cylindrical object, it's always going to be this shape all the way around, which is really helpful. The only issue right now is that you see like the top of the cylinder and you don't see the bottom and all that stuff. So we're just going to pretend like it's flat, like it's completely flat. We're going to go create curve tool. I'm going to do either pen. I'll use EP. I like EP curve tool. And I'm just going to start here and draw out. So this is going to be my first curve. Oh, it's too far. So I'm just blocking in my shape. You might have to zoom in just to make this a bit easier. See how like I lost a curve there? It's kind of a pain. So we got this, comes in a bit, and then it goes straight up. And then, oh. See, the issue with these, the curve tools is that they add all these extra points, but they're, can you guys see those points? I guess it's pretty hard, probably. So, I might just have
It is not easy to see.
Yeah, it's...
You might want to lower the opacity on your image plane.
Yeah, I'll do that so you guys can see it a bit better. Okay. That should be good. So yeah, I'm just going to stick with the EP curve tool. I'm going to show you how to finagle it, just so, like, the flat areas stay flat. It's kind of difficult sometimes, but you get used to it. So basically, to make something flat and more of a right angle, you just need to add more points to it. And by that, I mean you just need to, actually I can't show that till later, never mind. But right now I'm just drawing out the shape. And I'm just trying to follow along as best I can. It doesn't have to be like perfect exact, because if it did, it'd be really difficult to do. So I see this as like a bump. So it's got like, oh well, it's not really a bump, it's just a bevel. So I'm gonna just add that there. Draw up. So I'm just drawing basically the outline silhouette of this object. Now this part's difficult because it's an inlay. So I go down and probably just back up. And down. And yeah, down and just back up. And that's how I'm going to create that inlay. if you guys have ever done woodworking, this is basically, there's a fun tool that you basically put a giant, like, it's a rod of wood. You take a rod of wood and you put it in this machine, and then you stick like chisels against it and carve out the pieces of wood. It's super fun to use. I did that a lot when I was younger. It was super cool. It's a lot of fun. But yeah, so right now I'm just drawing out these shapes. And I'm not going to do the straight shapes. I'm going to tell you why. It's because I don't need them. Because those are just blocks. Like this, just a block. This, just a block. Okay, but now I have my curve. Can you guys see that? The green, shiny green. Flashy green part. Yes? Yes? Can anyone hear me? Hello? Have I lost people? No. Is everyone still there? Oh, did we lose Alyssa? Oh, we might have lost Alyssa, did we? Alright. I don't know if this is still running. Can you guys? Oh! Oh no, I can see my screen. Michael, you there? Michael? Okay. Fiona? Brooke? I think we just lost Alyssa. I don't know what happened there. But can you guys see the green? Can you guys see this green I made? Yes? Okay, cool. That's all I need. So we're going to go to perspective mode. And we're just going to drag this up. So now we have this. If she can join back in, she will. It's all recorded anyway, so it's not a huge issue. I'm just going to hide that for a sec. So I have this. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to center its pivot, delete its history, and all that fun stuff. But this object's pretty much sized up. I'm going to go back to top view. Because I might want, just because it's supposed to be both cylindrical on the top, I might want to just scale these verts so they're in the same spot. Because if it's going to be a cylinder, I want it to be like a perfect cylinder. And just delete that point because I don't need it. I don't know if there's another one in there. There is. I think it's this one. Is it that one? Yeah, it was that one. Okay. I'll just delete that one. Go back up. And there's just one point up here. I'm going to just move some of these points around so it keeps my curve a bit better. Because some of them are kind of finicky. Just push that one out. Because I want these to be pretty much perfect curves. I don't want any of these being like weird shapes. Like this is right. I want this to be like semi-flat, but it has like a curve to it. Because that's what it looks like in the image. There we go. I'm just going to push that back. Yep. There we go. There we go. I'm going to pull this out just a bit. And to add points to your curve, you go to the curve surface page in your taskbar and look for this one. It's called, if you look at the bottom left corner, script editor tells you what tool you're on, and it'll also pop up. So this is the insert knot tool. So if in Maya I go to curve point and I press this insert knot tool, if I middle click on the, oh, no, I can't have that selected. If I middle click on the object, I get these little dots. And if you hold shift and middle click, you can add as many dots, or left click, sorry. You can add as many dots as you want. I recommend adding them to curving areas. It'll just help with topology reasons. So I'm just adding them anywhere I see a curve. I'm just putting double-sided, just because that's what you do most of the time for curves. Because I want to clean these up a bit. I want these to be more curvy than these weird shapes I have them now. And some of these areas I actually want to be flat, like this one. So I'm going to add a lot of extra little bumps, because it'll help me adjust it. Yeah, sorry about my nose. Someone came in with that fire GIF as their name, and I'm actually kind of digging it. So I'm just adding in these extra loops, or extra dots. And when you're done, all you gotta do is press this button again. You just press insert knot, and they're there. You may not see them, but if you go to control vertex, they're now there. So now I have more points to control, and I can adjust the shape to what I actually want it to be. So this helps a lot, honestly. I recommend adding them in when you can. You can sometimes add them in sooner than later, but sometimes it's difficult. And to get these like tighter corners, you just bring them closer together. And that's how I want that, because that's a tight bevel. This one over here, I think I might just make this a curve. Yeah, I think that looks better than a flat piece. I'm just going to tighten up this one a little bit. There we go. That looks nice. This one's just a bit wonky shaped, so I'm going to just start pulling these out one by one. And this is honestly, like, you don't need to do this much to get the shape right. You can easily just do what I did and just draw it out real quick and then do it, because you won't be able to tell the difference much. But this just, personally, I find this just makes it look nicer when you're actually dealing with it later. And I would probably just bring these out because I want to kind of mimic the shape of that part. And I'm going to bring this one up just so I can give it more of a flat surface look. Okay. See how this part's all wonky? Now I just slightly adjust things and no longer wonky. Now it's more of a curve. You just get used to it over time and practice. Doesn't take too much. So yeah. And then this area, this is my main area that I want to fix, because I want this more flat. I know for a fact that I want this to be flat, so I might just scale all these down and pull them down a bit. And this will give me more of a flat shape, which is what I want. And I'm gonna scale these ones too, because that'll give me more of a flat shape. And I'm just pull them in. And pull this one in, and then if I pull the next one, I might need to add another loop. No, that's fine. Okay, we're gonna go with that. Then we're just gonna pull this one out, pull this one out, and this is basically how you get those tighter corners. You don't want them perfectly like cornered, like right angles, because nothing in real life is like that. Everything has a slight curve to it. I'll go on more about that later when we get into higher res stuff. But yeah, let me just fix this real quick, because that doesn't look like it's curved and correctly. Okay, so this, now you guys can see it, is my cylinder. Or, not cylinder, but my object. And I'm just going to snap that there. And I'm going to go back to perspective mode. And so we have this object now. If you go to surface and revolver, it's in the top create, press the little square. Now what I can do is basically create a object on this. So I don't want it to be output I want it to be output polygon. Attach multiple output nodes, quads, tessellation general, standard fit's fine actually. I usually do general, but standard fit's fine. Then press revolve. And it depends on what axis you're on, but this automatically, let me just reverse the normals, creates what you want. You might get some weird like extra edges like here. If you want, there's an easy fix. It's kind of difficult to get it perfectly right when you do the revolve tool, just because it's finicky. But this is honestly like pretty good. Like I could, like so many of these edges are not needed. I don't need all this extra detail. So like if it keeps the shape, I don't need the rest of it. Like I can tell from this far away. And if I smooth the object, which I'm probably going to do later, it'll look more like it. Right now it doesn't, because it's all fucked up, the geometry. It's got a lot of end guns. Like all of these around here are end guns. But that's how you would model the chair's, or the table's leg. Or part of the table's leg. And it's just really fast and an easy way to do it. And it gives you perfect shapes that you can either use this geometry or quad draw over it, because it's not actually perfect. Like this is pretty shite, like all these extra loops. But it'll work for what you got, and it makes it faster. Alyssa, do you have any other questions about the chair? Oh, did I just do something? No, I didn't.
Yeah, for the table.
Or for the table. I don't know why I keep saying chair.
A chair it is not.
Apparently my dumbass thinks it's a chair.
Yeah. So for the drawers, so we just block in the general shape of the carvings with Quadra, and then we'll do the sculpt in ZBrush. Is that kind of
the drawers?
There's the carvings on the drawers.
Let me just bring this back up. Okay. I'm gonna go back to top view for this. The other side. The other side.
Yeah.
Okay. I think the image is the same size, so I'm gonna just bring that in real quick. There we go. Okay. I think it's... Oh, maybe it's not the same size, but we're gonna scale it till it's roughly the same size. It's close enough. So these carvings are, they're gonna be a bitch to do in Maya. Only in Maya. They'll be pretty easy to do in ZBrush. What I would recommend doing is just not worrying about them in Maya.
Alright, that's what I did. I just did the shape of the drawers and just let it be, so...
Yeah, I would just avoid doing any of this in Maya. I actually know someone who did an amazing... if I go to ArtStation, this is someone I follow. He basically... this is how I learned how to do, like, that type of stuff on models. Hey, look, it's the woman who got ArtStation banned for things. And the reason they no longer have an app is this post. So ArtStation... Sorry, single thing, but Android App Store basically banned ArtStation because this is considered bad. And I'm like, you're having a fucking laugh. This is TB Choi and whoever the fuck this is, but TB Choi is not a bad.
No.
Not, well, it's not like bad, but like sexual. And it was a weird thing. So I think it's Geo. I'm gonna just go back to ArtStation. Sorry. I got in a little rant about that because it pisses me off. Because I'm like, why are you canceling my beautiful ArtStation app? Because you guys are being little bitches. So the person... I can't pronounce the dude's name, so I'm just gonna look for it. Like, I love him. Don't know how to pronounce his damn name. Where is he? Where is he? Did I miss him already? He might be up top. Ah, here he is. Onyan Zahariv. He's from Bulgaria. He's one of my favorite modelers, mainly just because he did all of Dumbledore's office, which is this. It's a beautiful structure. Like, this is the kit he made for Dumbledore's office. Like, all of these are repeatable pieces he used for Dumbledore's office. Some of them are original. Most of them are repeated. Like, these books are repeated. The chair and desk are one object. But let me show you. So, where is it? This gun. It's beautiful. Beautiful. It has these nice engravings on it. But he started off with this block out. So, block out for proportions. And then he did a mid poly, which was just like, I proceeded to clean. Yeah, so he brought it into ZBrush and made this. And then he quad drawed over it. Then he brought it back into ZBrush to do the engravings. So basically what he did was he created a mask of the shape of what he wanted. And then he pulled out the engraving. And then he created the intricate detail inside. So he pulled...
Oh, that's cool.
So yeah, you pull out the shape, and then you create the engraving. And he's fantastic because he tells you exactly what brush he uses for each part.
That's so awesome.
So when you're doing the engraving, I definitely recommend looking at this because it's fantastic.
All right.
And
can you link this in the classroom?
Yes.
Sweet.
Yes, I can. But yeah, he goes over everything, like how he got these intricate shapes, like because this is supposed to be a clay piece, and then this is supposed to be, I think it's cloth or something, or it's like a tissue fiber type thing. But then it's like, so a main thing he talks about is silhouette breakup for your high poly, or sorry, your low poly. So in your low poly, you can add these like slight breakups, and they're not a lot of geometry, they're just like points that the normal map crosses over, and it's super helpful. He also uses Quixel, which we're not going to use. We're going to use Zebra, or, what's it called?
Substance?
Yeah, Substance, because I know how to use Substance. I've never used Quixel, it's pretty good, but yeah. So that's how he made this gun. So that's how you're going to do those engravings.
Good to know. Thank you very much.
Yes. The rest of the table, you can just do.
I did not use the curve tool for the legs. I built it out of a cylinder.
Was it painful?
I like the curve tool for certain things, and I like, sometimes for me, building something out from a cylinder is just like a more organic way to work.
That is very true. I
For
agree.
me, it's like sculpting.
Yeah, I mean, for the cylinder, you could easily just, like, I could just bring in a cylinder.
And just, like, edge loop the hell out of it. And
Yeah, I could just add a few edge loops. Like, I could scale this to the right size that I want. I'm just going to do it later. The only issue is the caps will be a bit weird, but you can always... Fun thing about Maya is you can put spherical caps on the end of your cylinders.
yes. Yes.
Well, except if you
Right.
scale
Low
it.
poly spherical cap.
Except if you scale it before you do it, because then it, like, does this shit. So,
Ooh.
okay. Next...
Alright, cool.
up-
Thank you, Callum.
You're welcome. Who is this? Maya! What model are you doing, Maya? I know everyone else is. Brooke, are you doing a model, or are you just watching? Either way is fine. I don't really care. I just want you guys to learn. Oh, the desk! Okay, perfect, Maya. So that goes over the desk. But yeah, guys, if you guys don't get the homework done, don't stress about it. It's more for you. I'm pretty much just trying to show you guys how to do different shapes, weirdly. So next up, we're going to go over the machete. So I'm just going to... Oh, God. I'm going to bring in... I don't know why I got rid of my last plane. I'm going to just bring in a new plane. Desktop. Interclass. Machete. And I'm going to take this image, because this is the one I would want. Because I'm going to do a quick silhouette shape. What are you guys having trouble with for the machete? If you guys have started. Or what were you guys confused about while looking at it when you did the blog app? Because that's a big thing for machetes. $13.91. Anybody? I was having trouble getting an accurate quad draw and not having a messy topology. Oh, okay. That is exactly what I can show you right now. Perfect. So I'm going to just assign Lambert 2 again. It has that image. I'm just going to swap it for the one I want. Boop. I could have just gone back, but that's fine. Machete 1, yep. So I have this. So I have clean quad draw. What you're going to do is, I'll just make this surface live. I could do it without it, but that's easy. You got to think about how your model looks. So I can tell you that this is the edge of the blade. This is going to be the part that the blade is. And I'm just going to follow along the shape and try and keep it roughly to what it actually is. I know it's really hard to see the white of the blade over here. It's just because the image is so blown out. You can fix that if you want to. I would just not worry about it too much. It's not a huge issue. And if you press tab in the left bumper, or left button, you can just pull. And I would draw out the blade like this, because for me, looking at the blade, this black part is basically flat. It's going to have a slight curve in it, but it's basically flat. And then you're going to have the angle of the blade. Sorry, I got lost. And then a good thing to think about when you're modeling is you want to keep everything in even spacing. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, so right now I'm odd, but that's fine. I'm not done. And I want to keep these as even as I can, like the size of them. That's why I'm trying to mimic the shape and keep it as even as possible. Because this will just make doing the doing the UVs easier. It just makes the UV process a lot easier. So I think this actually just comes to a point. I think I'm just being an idiot. Let me double check that. I'm sorry, I can't really see this. But yeah. Does this help a little, Michael, or do you want me to do a bit more about quad drawing? I can if you want. Yeah, so it does come to what I thought it was. So I'm going to undo that. Yeah. That helped. Okay, cool. Are you confused about how you're going to do this knife shape on the top? Because that might be something a little more difficult that we can go over. And then I'll go over the handle. Because the handle we're going to do... Yeah, the spikes. Sorry, the spikes. The serrated edge of the blade. So I'm gonna do a quick demo of how I would do that. Pretty much, I'm gonna quad draw just this beginning, and there's a curve here, so I'm just gonna add that point. I'm gonna add this for prosperity. So this, I'm gonna leave this a triangle. Actually, no, I'm gonna give it a little bit of size. I don't know why I want to do that. I just think it would be helpful. Just because this... Well, no, actually, yeah, I'm going to just leave it the way it is. Because it's going to be too small to really recognize. So the reason I'm doing... Oh, what the hell? There we go. Nope, alright. I guess I added an extra dot I didn't know I added. What the fuck? Why are there 2 extra dots? Sorry. So I'm just going to do this. I'm just trying to create roughly the shape. This is going to be a triangle. I'm just going to make it one. So don't worry too much about triangles. Because this is a curved area, I definitely want triangles. Well, you don't have to have them. It just makes it easier. Like, curves make it easier. I'm just going to... Right now, I'm just going to try and even out this topology a bit. It gets difficult in certain areas. So I have this shape. This is a quad and a tri. Quad, quad, tri, tri. So that's okay. And I'm keeping it roughly that shape. And what I'm going to do is just duplicate. Center its pivot and move it. And then we're just going to connect them, basically. Because they're the same shape. So I'm going to combine them. Delete this face. And just basically line them up, because I want them to follow this curve. So I'm just gonna, I want them to stay the same shape. Actually, you know what? That's doing too much. Wait, just continue quad drawing, but I want you to keep this thought process. You want the triangle, quad, 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 triangle, triangle, and that's exactly what I'm gonna do for the rest of it. Triangle, and then this is my triangle, and then the quad. We're gonna move this quad. See, we're gonna move it around a bit. Oh god, what happened? Can you guys see that, or is that just me? Oh, one sec. I'm gonna have to unplug